the SD10 from Digico. The new addition to Digico's SD range, the SD10, sits comfortably above the SD8, both in terms of performance and price point. The SD10 has a number of additional features and benefits that instantly distinguish it from its smaller brother. It comes with all the refinements you would expect on any Digico console, but with some exciting new options and an application-specific feature set. To start with, the work surface is constructed from anodized aluminium, overlaid with polycarbonate panels to provide clear and concise user feedback. A large 15-inch digitally driven touch-sensitive screen provides the user with feedback, as well as fast control of all the main parameters. There are 37 100mm touch-sensitive faders to allow fast access to the large number of channels and outputs that can be assigned across the surface. The SD10 has 96 channels with full processing, 12 of which can be configured as full flexi channels. All inputs have dual mono inputs for fast main and alt channel switching. Standard input channel processing includes channel delay, single and multi-channel presets, high-pass and low-pass filters with an industry-leading 24 dB per octave, 4 bands of parametric EQ with band curve selection, compressor and gate, dual inserts points and access to all busing. Standard output channel processing includes output delay, 8 bands of parametric EQ, previously only seen on the SD7, compressor and gate, dual insert points, groups with bus-to-bus routing, and auxes that have direct talk to output with DIMM control. There's also dynamic EQ to give you both expansion and compression on all 4 bands of the parametric EQ, ideal for shaping and controlling your input or output signal in a dynamic way. These powerful processors can be assigned to any of the input or output channels, whether they're stereo or left, center, right, and 10 units can be allocated as required. Multi-band compressors are installed so that the user can master any input or output channel. This is perfect for managing complex in-ear monitoring or difficult input channels. Again, 10 units can be positioned on either input or output channels. Busing requirements continually increase, but the SD10 comes to the show prepared. 48 assignable buses can be configured as mono or stereo groups or auxiliary buses. As well as this already substantial busing resource, you get an additional stereo or left, center, right master bus and a 16x12 output matrix, with the SD range's industry-renowned routing flexibility. Dual solo buses are another additional, which give monitor engineers the comfort of accurate monitoring security. Building on the core processing are insertable FX and graphics. These units can be routed, controlled, and even snapshot recalled for the most complex show design. The 24 graphics can easily be inserted and controlled from the work surface faders and touchscreen, and 10 Stealth Stereo FX units can be configured at any time from the palette of 33 Stealth FX. If you want even more processing and effects, Waves integration gives you further choice. Unlike all other SoundGrid platforms, Digico provides complete control of plug-in parameters, as well as recall of snapshots and single loading and saving, directly from the console surface. 16 stereo SoundGrid racks can be inserted, with up to 8 plugins in each rack. Is 138 FX enough? Smart key macros are positioned on the right-hand side of the SD10 surface, with 4 layers of 10 RGB backlit smart keys. The user can program these to control any simple or complex functions that they want to be able to recall at the push of a button. Local I/O, positioned on the rear of the console, is 8 mic inputs, 8 line outputs, 8 mono AES I/O, 2 MADI connections with redundant cabling connections, 16 GPI and GPO connections, with the option to expand to 32 GPI and GPO, MIDI, as well as word clock, MADI and octa-core for synchronization. Like all Digico consoles, the SD10 software will run on a standard PC or Intel-based Mac to allow offline preparation of sessions or remote control of the console itself. All the functions on the console are also available on the PC, and the software interface is identical. In the same way as a console can be remote controlled by a PC, one SD10 can be linked to another using a standard Cat5 crossover cable. The two consoles are then both available, providing 74 faders for control. In this configuration, the audio engine of the first SD10 will also provide complete redundancy for the other. Here are 6 SD10 expansion options. 1. You get second generation octa-core optic connections. Just like the SD7, an SD10 can connect to up to 14 SD or DRAC IDs with 448 audio channels on a single redundant optical loop. 2. 5 redundant consoles can share all input from the stage racks, and outputs on the system can be assigned in blocks of 8. Taking a standard front-of-house and monitoring system as an example, a single rack can provide 56 inputs to both consoles, with 40 of the outputs assigned to the monitor console and 16 used by front-of-house for feeds back to the stage. 3. The system even allows one console to directly route outputs to another console on the loop for convenient tie lines. 4. Don't forget that the DRAC, SD-RAC, SD7 and SD10 can operate happily together at 96 kHz. The audio advantage here is very clear, but the additional advantage of speed means just over 1 millisecond of latency when routing a stage input through a channel and bus with processing back to a stage output. 5. Sound grid waves can be added to the console, allowing full connection and control of a wave sound grid. At last, low latency plugins on a floating point digital console. 6. Connectivity to the outside world isn't restricted to just the DRAC and SD-RAC. The SD10 comes with different I/O options because tailored Digico systems and complex setups are completely user configurable. Did we say 6? Make that 7. You also get dual hot swap switch mode PSUs as standard.